It's sunny again today. Fortunately, it's not boiling hot again compared to last year anyways. And what's going on today? It's kind of interesting reading this one where apparently in the US there's a bunch of commercial drone companies requesting for changes so that people could more readily and easily, I guess, use drones for various applications. This one says, Commercial Drone Alliance urges President Biden to take strong executive action on AAM and drones. Representatives from the Commercial Drone Alliance took part last week in a historic summit on advanced air mobility hosted by the White House. The momentous event convened leaders from government, industry, and academia to encourage the advancement of new aviation technologies such as electric vertical takeoff and landing and commercial drone technologies, which promotes to evolutionize transportation in the present and into the future. Building off the summit's momentum, the CDA believes now is the time for President Biden to take strong executive action to unleash the full potential of these technologies. Lisa Ellman, Executive Director of the Commercial Drone Alliance, posted the following statement outlining the CDA's stance on these technologies and encouraging the President to move the industry forward. So they initially start off by talking about things like the tech and the benefit, but eventually, like here it says, but while technological capability has quickly advanced, US policy has lagged behind, hindering this industry's growth here and hurting our country's global competitiveness. I guess the great example again would be kind of like that company Zipline. They're delivering bloods and medical stuff with their drones. They had to get out of their home country of the US and do it elsewhere just because of things like regulations and all that. And they say here, business, large and small, are looking to uncrewed aircraft, also known as drones, to deliver vital supplies and medicines, inspect critical infrastructure, assist first responders, and much more. Support for enabling the benefits of drones has been a bipartisan policy priority since 2012, when Congress first directed the Federal Aviation Administration to integrate drones into the national airspace system. The Biden-Harris administration has provided helpful leadership on issues of drone security. Now, 10 years later, not a single drone model has received standard FAA certification, and FAA approvals authorizing advanced operations for the benefit of the American public are limited and require cumbersome, expensive, and time-consuming procedures. For example, while US companies are busy completing hundreds of thousands of safe and efficient drone deliveries in other countries, drone package delivery here in the US is limited to a handful of small-scale pilot projects. It makes me think of that odd point again when it comes to a regulator saying, oh, it's because of them and their regulations. That's why, for example, there's creativity and innovation, I guess, in the drone sector. To me, it's like, what are you talking about? If anything, it basically stifles innovation and creativity so far, isn't it? Because it's so over the top. I still remember some of those stories where a school basically had to get all this permission just to fly it around again, their school. Documents and documents of papers, like so ludicrous. Like you wouldn't have to do that for other things. Like for example, imagine riding, I don't know, a scooter in a school ground and people just creating it like an electronic class or something like that. And then you have to go through this whole procedure as if you're driving a huge car or something like that. Like that would be crazy, isn't it? Although with that said too, I don't know if this organization and their goals would necessarily benefit everyone. For example, people who just want to use it for fun, take videos and photos. It could be one of those situations where we only care about our own rights and benefits. We want to kick everyone out of the airspace. I don't know, maybe that's the case, but I guess we'll see. And unfortunately, there's still a lot of war news around the world where people are accusing, I guess, one another. You're supporting this side, that side. That's why this was kind of interesting, where it kind of indicates that China's actually working with Russia in some ways. This one says, China to send troops to Russia for Vostok exercise. Chinese troops will travel to Russia to take part in joint military exercises led by the host and including India, Belarus, Mongolia, Tajikistan, and other countries, China's defense ministry said on Wednesday. Chinese troops will travel to Russia to take part in joint military exercises led by the host and including India, Belarus, Mongolia, Tajikistan, and other countries, China's defense ministry said on Wednesday. China's participation in the joint exercises was unrelated to the current international and regional situation, the ministry said in a statement. Last month, Moscow announced plans to hold Vostok exercises from August 30th to September 5th, even as it wages a costly war in Ukraine. It said at the time that some foreign forces would participate without naming them. China's defense ministry said its participation in the exercises was part of an ongoing bilateral annual cooperation agreement with Russia. Saying here, quote, "The aim is to deepen practical and friendly cooperation with the armies of participating countries, enhance the level of strategic collaboration among the participating parties, and strengthen the ability to respond to various security threats," the statement said. So would you see that as just people doing, like they say, an exercise, a routine to practice various, I guess, stuff? Or would you see it as these are countries aligning with each other, so it's a threat to any other country who sees one or the other as hostile? Who knows, but maybe that'll create even more, I guess, ruckus between various countries, huh? Alright, see you guys later.